home from work, nice and early today. I was going to head out actually on a run straight away, and then I made a decision that actually what I want to do tonight, because I'm feeling good, is go to the location for my local park run and do it. And not do it for time, but just for distance, because even though I have now run more than 5k, what I want to do is obviously experience a park run. And before I experience it, if you like, for real, I want to at least have a little practice to get a feel for what the distance is like in that location, because I'm really used to running for, if you like, a landmark, so starting at one point and finishing at one point. The issue that I have on my local park run is that it just loops twice. So mentally, when you reach what you feel is the finish line, you actually have to go back around again before it is the finish line, if that makes sense. So I'm going to head out there tonight. It's still pretty warm at the moment, about 20 degrees out. I'm going to wait till the traffic dies down, head out, and then capture, hopefully, a little bit of footage of that landscape and my progress there. But I'm really looking forward to it. I've been looking forward to this moment, funnily enough, for a little while now. And it may seem so insignificant to a lot of people, but when you think about not so long ago, I really wasn't running at all. The idea of doing a park run to me seemed just so distant. And my progress has kind of reassured me that if I just continue on this path, before long, I'm going to be running the 10Ks and moving towards half marathons. And that's a really, really exciting prospect. So, let's get out tonight and hopefully just have a really good experience and get my first 5K. Well, not first 5K, but my first official park run 5K, if you like, under my belt. And be great to get out in the nice weather. Thank you, summer, for returning just for today. So I didn't follow my own advice. I did wait until traffic died down, and now I'm paying the price by sitting in traffic. I obviously got a bit of a bug there for the running, and instead of being patient, I just decided to head out sooner rather than later. And like I say, now I'm just sitting in traffic waiting to go. So I've arrived on location. It's actually a lot windier than I was anticipating, but there it is, the park run. I'm just running now to the start line before we get going. So hopefully, first and foremost, hopefully I can do it. And secondly, it'd be nice to have a competitive time, but that's not my focus. My focus is getting this park run done for the first time. Just going to hit Strava up now, get the map, get loaded, and get running. So I'll try and record a little bit of footage on the way. Okay, well, let's give this park run a bit of a review. So you basically kind of start over there where that building is, and you take a run straight down here. It's pretty flat all the way along. As you can see, you go all the way along, you kind of come up over this slight incline and then down. Now in the distance, something's going to get away now. In the distance, there's kind of a rolling hill that goes up and down. Along the back edge there is a incline of say about 100 metres, and it's tarmac, and it just really saps your energy from your legs. Come round the top here, around this bend, down straight, which is a really nice run down actually, along the tarmac down over here. Then you take a left, sharp left, and you run kind of across the back, all the way down, back to that building. That's lap one, and then you do the same thing again. Okay, well, I've taken a breather. Time to review. That was interesting, really interesting for me. It was my first park run that I've ever done, so I can't really speak from experience of others, but in terms of the setup, you've got grass, you've got tarmac. I guess it's probably an option if you decided to run on the grass all the way you could, because you could just run outside the tarmac pathway. But I mean, I ran across both terrains, and the first lap was tough. It really wasn't easy, and I guess because I'm still new to running, I'm still noticing these things, because as soon as lap 2 kicked in, all of a sudden I felt like I got into my stride and it really wasn't a problem, which is sort of unusual because I was expecting the second lap to be much harder, but it felt far more comfortable to a point where I could actually at the end kind of push into a bit of a sprint, which I was really pleased with, because you know, when you're looking at your phone and you see yourself approaching that 4.7k and you can see that you're going to come in under half an hour if you just give that extra push, it's all I needed really. It was a motivation that I needed to keep going, and I actually run a bit further than 5k, so I've kind of got two times. I've got one that's 29.04 for the 5k distance, and I've got one that's 29.33 recorded as a park run distance. So I mean, either way I'm under half an hour, but that was really enjoyable and really good for me, because I look back on my first and earliest videos earlier on, and I was talking about wanting to do the park run in under half an hour, and I really didn't want to take part in it unless I knew I could do that. So this is exactly what I needed, I suppose, to give me the confidence just to take part. And I know it's fun, but I did want to be competitive and I wanted something to aim for. So now I know I can do it under half an hour. I think a couple more practices and I'll be ready to take part in, if you like, in that real thing. But that was really enjoyable, and what a glorious evening. This is just stunning. Apologies for any audio with the wind. At the moment I'm assuming it's okay, but until I listen to it back I may not have captured everything in its full quality. But a really, really excellent evening for me, and I'm very, very pleased. So many runners out tonight, and what a great open space to have so local to me as well. Okay. It's a good evening. Good way to end.